Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Improv Gaming, and today we are talking about the Q1 release schedule. Pete, give me some thoughts on the Q1 release schedule that has popped up in recent years.
Okay, so the Q1 release schedule. Mostly everybody knows the holidays, big budget releases. You have your Battlefields, your Call of Duty, your Assassin's Creed. All that is fine and good. But over the last couple of years, you've been seeing a resurgence of Q1 releases, and it's getting bigger and bigger as the years go on. In 2015, you had Deadlight, which would have died if it was in a fall holiday release schedule. But the game was so great that it was released February 9th, I want to say 2015, and the game blew up because there was nothing else to play. All the big games happened, and they were done because of the fall schedule. After Christmas, you play your games, but they had nothing here. Same thing could be said, and this year is tremendous. Look what we have this year, Nick. We have Horizon Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn.
First party from Guerrilla Games, PlayStation.
New IP.
New IP, going to be an IP because the game is fantastic.
Yes.
So you have this game coming out, which is insane. Q1, February 28th.
Okay.
Then, not only that, Nick, a week later you have a console release. Nintendo is releasing the Nintendo Switch.
The Nintendo Switch. Risky business.
Which is not crazy released, but now we're seeing these consoles released in the second quarter, and it's insane because no competition's around it. Granted, you have Horizon Zero Dawn and some other stuff, but for the most part...
You've got For Honor, right? Coming out the 21st of February.
For Honor, which looks amazing. A nice multiplayer game. You have Wildlands. Which is Rainbow Six escalated into this open world. And now you have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild first quarter.
Risky business.
With a new console. And you have all these games coming towards it. You have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I mean, is it safe to say that maybe first quarter period is now the new way to be and get these great games?
No. And I think I've said it before. Right? This quarter, or this period, this time period of release schedule, this new release schedule that started to surge up in, 2-3 years ago, it seems like the best plan of action for this quarter is to release games that you're not too sure about. Big IPs, new IPs that you're not sure about. Guerrilla Games taking a chance on an open world instead of a first-person shooter. They've excelled tremendously at first-person shooters.
They're known for the Killzone series.
Completely out of character to go into an open-world action RPG. Breath of the Wild might not succeed because now you've got voice acting with Link. You've got something about sexual content. Who knows what the fuck that means, right? But you're also releasing a risky, lower-powered next-gen console.
Mm-hmm.
So... Again, risky business, right? For Honor takes its cues from Bloodborne, Dynasty Warriors, and online. Risky business. You're going to take online multiplayer, turn it into Bloodborne, and mash in some Dynasty Warriors, which has proven to be unsuccessful in the past, right? A franchise that's diminished. Risky business. Give me another title.
Neo just came out.
Neo just came out, right? Another one. Samurai, Bloodborne-esque, Onimusha kind of game, right?
But now that's getting great reviews.
It's getting
across
great reviews.
the board. So that, I think, helps in the long run. There's nothing else to play before.
But that's the point, right? There is nothing else on the market to play. So my question is that skewing the reviews that there's nothing else on the market to play? I don't know if it is,
right.
But at the same time, right, what are your other options? If you want to play a game during this time period, what other options do you have right now? You can still play the games that you've gotten bored of from last year, or you could play these new IPs that they're trying out that are going to be different, or riskier IPs, I should say, right? So you're taking Breath of the Wild, you're turning it into a massive open world, or you're taking Zelda, turning it into a massive open world, adding a new console in there with the mix, and you don't know how it's going to perform. You want it to do its best. Mm-hmm. So in order to introduce that risky stuff without the competition of Call of Duty, without the competition of... That's the whole point, right? That's why you're releasing it this time. You want it to get the attention that it deserves. Instead of releasing it like 2 months out from Call of Duty, everybody's saving their pennies in order to get Call of Duty and battle
all these big AAA games that come out.
Games, your next Uncharted, your next whatever it is. They're saving their pennies to buy 5 games already that are coming out that are guaranteed to come out September, October, November, in that time period. Mm-hmm. So they're already saving their money for that. So that's $300 that they're already dropping on that. Why are you going to chance asking them to drop in another $60 when you could go during this quarter and say, hey, you've got money. Why don't you buy this game? Now, it seems to be working out because they're releasing good games.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job at it, right? So Dying Light, a good game. Breath of the Wild could be a good game.
Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7, again, risky, right? You're going back to the old school, but you're changing it up a bit, drawing upon examples that you've seen before. Outlast, PT. Not exactly the Resident Evil per se, but you're still entwining that Resident Evil essence inside of that kind of a video game. Not third person, first person. Very survival, like the old Resident Evil, but you started to go towards action, which seemed to be working for you until Resident Evil 4. And then you had to kind of like tone it back a bit for 5 and 6. And now Resident Evil 7 comes out and you really toned it back, but you've changed the whole atmosphere of the universe. Plus, it was intended for VR. It was intended to work with VR, which, again, risky business. So, I feel
So
like,
would you feel that Mass Effect Andromeda, risky as well?
yes, because it was supposed to end. So now you're trying to introduce a whole new timeline into it. Again, I would feel Mass Effect Andromeda is risky because you could lose a lot of your fan base with Mass Effect Andromeda. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to end. There's not supposed to be a continuation. Uncharted, the new Uncharted that was sneak peeked, right? It's not Nathan Drake. Risky business, but it's releasing in March 2018, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I believe, again, during this time period, it's a risky business area because you don't have any competition around it.
But now you could see there is competition coming.
Yeah, now there is competition.
Look,
so I want to see how the landscape changes when there's competition in there.
For all the JRPG fans, you had Persona 5 coming out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But now it got pushed back till April because there's so many games. They're like, you know what? Maybe we got to back up. You have For Honor. Look at this schedule right here. You have For Honor coming out. I think it's Valentine's Day or the 21st. You have a couple weeks later or a week later, Horizon Zero Dawn, the 28th. Week after that, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, both Wii U and the Nintendo Switch. You have the Nintendo Switch coming out. A couple weeks later, you have Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yep.
And now, right after that, then you get into, hey, now we have the Persona 5. You know, there's so much coming.
I think there was a drought during this time period, right? Gamers were craving something. I know I was. I was craving for something to happen during this time period for a very long time. There's no games to play. It's all old games. What else is new out there? And this would be the time that my search engine would light up. What's new that's coming out? Oh, I gotta wait until December. Oh, I gotta wait until November. Oh, I gotta wait until September. Oh my God, I gotta wait for all these games to come out. And there was a drought. And I think 3 years ago, somebody started tapping the market, but tapping it not with their good IPs that they know are going to sell, but tapping it with new or risky IPs or risky takes on old IPs.
Or something new.
Or something completely new. So it was risky takes on old IPs or something completely new. Because again, risky business is the time to put this out here. I feel. Right?
See,
eventually, yeah, I can see that you disagree. But I feel that eventually the market's going to become saturated, just like the holiday market becomes saturated. So now you've got two gaps and two busy periods, right? The beginning, the Q1.
Yeah, but you have summer is not as crazy as right now Q1 and the holiday. I mean, come summer here, you still had Witcher a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You have Injustice 2 coming out. You have Persona now coming out closer to summer, and you have all these big games, and of course the sports games. So that, I think, the deadest period right now has been
spring, or
would be like April, May, but then June comes in, big game comes, July comes, then you get September with all the sports games, and then it kicks off.
I think business-wise, the developers and the publishers have figured out that there's a tappable market in Q1. They've already got a market in Q3, and Q4 is already their holiday market. That was always going to be a tappable market. Yep. So they've done the smart thing of figuring out that there's a market over here to tap into, because slowly and steadily they've been releasing things and they've been seeing the success rise, and now more people are going to release things and see the success rise. Again, as long as it's a good game, it's going to do well, I feel. You know, if it's not a good game, then it's not going to do well. Right? Scalebound, I believe, was supposed to be released during this time period. I believe. I'm not entirely sure.
They were saying,
but the way the trend that I'm seeing developers take is, we're taking a chance with this. Let's put it in Q1. Okay. This is an established.
So you feel
this is an established IP that generates a lot of revenue. Let's put that in Q3 or Q4.
Okay.
You get what
I'm
saying?
So you're saying that you feel like, in a weird way, Horizon Zero Dawn might not do as well in the holiday as opposed to being released in February.
I feel like that's an exception to the rule, because I think that they could do well. But I think the smart business decision is why even try to do well when we've got this place where nobody's releasing anything, and we can do very well in that spot.
And just tweak it a little bit more.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think the smarter business idea is to avoid the convolution of the holiday season.
You know what, Nick?
Now.
I want to know what they think.
Yeah. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. But if you didn't know, this is Pete Anderson, Mr. I'm Wondering himself without the fedora cap in tow.
And this is Mr. Nicholas De Jesus, the best ponytail in the business.
It's fabulous. Let your friends know. Share our beautiful faces with your beautiful friends. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, game on.